of research methods, my research is a bit ethnographic based. So I went to the places myself and I took photos of sites, and I also observed the area, like how popular the place is. And I also, in the case that Thai English is found, I also interviewed Thai people from shop owners, sign makers, government officers, and tourists, because I want to know what went wrong, like during the process. Sometimes you might tell the sign makers the right thing, but there might be a spelling mistake or typing errors, or sometimes you don't really know, and then you tell the sign maker and they make it that way. And I also talk to international visitors whether they understand Thai English or not. English used that way. Yeah. So, and based on, in terms of descriptive analysis and theoretical framework, so my research is mainly based on both Englishes or English as a lingua franca, which focuses on varieties of English around the world based on social and cultural context. And also it is under sociolinguistics, or the studies of language in its social context and the studies of social life through linguistics. And also because English is used as a means for communication between Thai people and international visitors, so it is under the field of intercultural communication as well. So I focus on pragmatic failures, or the inability to understand what is meant by what is said, because when Thai people say something, we might mean something, but when the audience see it, they might think about something else. And also multimodality. So in this case, the context is really important, because you cannot just look at the language, but you should, in order to understand what's going on, you have to look around, you need to include the context. So there are many definitions in terms of multimodalities, and it's also used in many areas, but in my research, I'll give you two definitions of scholars in this field. To Scotland and Scotland, they say, we speak and listen, write and read not only about the world but in the world. And much of what we understand depends on exactly where we and the language are located in the world. So to Scotland and Scotland, it is important to look at where the sign is placed, the location of the sign. Let's say if you found the word stop here, in a triangle, if you find it on the road, it might mean something else. If you find it here, it might mean something different. With Crescent Van Leuven, so when working with signs, the multimodal resources available in a culture should be taken into account, as they make meanings in any and every sign at every level and in any mode. So in this case, you should also take the social and cultural context into account as well. And in my research, Thai English reflects many things about unique characteristics of Thai people and Thai society. In terms of my data collection, I collected my data 3 times. The first time in December 2009, June 2010, and then I went back again last year. So in total, I went to 25 different areas in 8 provinces, and I went to major cities like Bangkok, Ayutthaya, Sukhothai. So I look at the places to go from Lonely Planet and some guidebooks, which tourist attractions are popular among visitors, and I went there. So my attractions range from temples, markets, shopping areas, national parks and beaches. So finally I collected 3,000 signs, but I chose only monolingual English signs or English dominant sign. It can be bilingual, Thai English, English Thai, or it can be the multilingual side, but English must be the dominant language. And what I did with my data, so I document what I see on the side, I type them to make a corpus, just to find the database of English used in Thailand. And in terms of qualitative analysis, I just look at the theoretical frameworks from literature into world Englishes, sociolinguistics and intercultural communication, as I have already mentioned. So finally, I now got a corpus of English used on-site in tourist attractions in Thailand. And the reason why I built it just because I just want to find out some repeating patterns of English used in Thai context and to find out some unique words transliterated from Thai into English. So this is what Thai English contributes to the world Englishes. And in terms of area of application, because it is the first corpus of science, probably maybe in the world. So it can be used for further research into English as a lingua franca, and in terms of education in Thailand, it can be used for textbook and material development. So let's have a look at the preliminary results from my corpus. I use Wordsmith too, and the size of my corpus is about 13,000 words. And here are the frequency of the word that found. And just mainly, the red one, it's something that is quite unique. If you look at what? W-A-T. It's written in English, but as you are as a native speaker, do you know what does it mean? Maybe not. And this one, B is B. It might not mean anything to you, but it means something in Thailand. I'll tell you later. And also, it's something that reflects the unique characteristic of Thailand. King, we still have the monarchy, and Thai, Siam is the previous name of Thailand, so it's something like this. So let's have a look at the first example. What? 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 A lot of words when you see it, around the country. Do you know? It's written in English and you can read it. Okay. Do you want to guess?
It's a temple. It's a temple?
It's true.
It's like
so you've
Cambodia.
been to Thailand before?
It's Angkor Wat, and it's the famous landmark of Cambodia.
So that's really good. That's really good. Yeah. If you look at the context, it might be able to help. What is something like this? What is a temple? Okay, let's have a look at the second one. B. Okay, keep you walking.
Yeah.
5 baht. But it's our currency. Yeah. So if you see B in Thailand, it means baht. It generally means baht. So that's why context is really important in this case. So in terms of qualitative analysis, I categorize Thai English into 2 main categories. The first one is grammatical features. We have something like misspelling, typing errors, punctuation marks. And because in Thailand, in Thai, we don't actually use any punctuation mark after each sentence, but full stop, we don't actually use it, we use space. And sometimes it shows on English side as well. And word orders, adjective, and now modification, because in Thai, adjective modifies, adjective comes after the noun is modified. And also part of speech. And there are many cases that adverb, adjective, and nouns share the same form. And also other grammatical related issues. And in terms of semantic features, this one is challenging because sometimes you might see the words or the sentences that are grammatically correct, but you might not understand it because of the direct translation or sometimes different spelling system. We also have creativity and another issues of word choices as well. So to understand Thai English under semantic features, you need to have some social and cultural background of Thailand as well. And there are many cases that both categories overlap or something like word order and direct translation. But mainly I just put them into broad categories.